Guys, hi, Nuance with Nikki, the nitty gritty, even if it's shitty. I just wanted to say I have some brilliant people on this channel, right? Mine's so much more supple than mine. And I just wanted to read some of the amazing um comments. Okay, this one absolutely captures the hearts of things that I'm not always able to say. Right, and a person with a lot more knowledge than me, so just give me a second to get my glasses. Hey, from the John 2460, it's loving the content, heart emoji. To add a bit more nuance, when it comes to addiction and the rat experiments, I'll quote Vaughan, who sang Now Experiments in Psychoneuropsychology, exploring addiction to see why it be. Give them a choice between substance and money. One minimal scale, it was 50-50. Increase the money, they leave the substance. So money worry plays a part in dependency. However, ironic that would seem to be. However ironic that would seem to be. I don't know that song. I'm so gonna go check it out. So there's an additional dimension to consider with regards to human beings. So he's responding here to my video about the lazy, foolish, alcoholic, xenophobic South African, and he does talk about economic factors there. Regarding South Africa and perhaps even Africa as a whole, we lack proper leadership. I couldn't agree more. The ones crossing the border risk their lives working in illegal mines or otherwise only doing so because things in their own African country are worse. I agree 100%. Um, I'll add more nuance later on when we make a more detailed video. Regarding xenophobia, we've all seen Hotel Rwanda. That is my problem with delineating along any lines, whether by race, citizenship, ethnicity, etc. It promotes segregation and people tend to retreat into these tribal identities, which only further promotes othering and the perception and proliferation of stereotyping and these caricatures. To quote Park, learn to see me as a brother instead of two distant strangers. Love it. Though I understand and appreciate the context and unity will not be realized if we see ourselves as South African and others as American, etc. Rather, see all of us as human beings, idealistic as it may be, especially to politicians. Great historical view of South Africa's past, the West currently has its own fish to fry for the most part. Through though, so our focus should be on rebuilding Africa and strong, principled African leadership, keeping the discourse going. Keep the discourse going and keep up the good work. You know what? It's always important to have people to remind you of these things because I do believe everything he said. They literally agree with 100% of it. Um, but yeah, once again, more nuance to how I would respond. But let's just centralize John's voice there. There was someone else here, absolutely brilliant as well. Okay, it showed up on my phone. I guess it's not necessarily showing up here. Maybe it's over here. Okay, something to do with addiction. Ah, there we go. Victoria Makoeng, 4833. Isolation is a minor factor. Actual anti fertility, chemical, biological weapon programs were done on black South Africans. Are you serious, Victoria? Source Jackson M. Conspiracy to commit genocide, anti fertility research. What? Okay, rabbit hole I'm not even ready for. But thank you, Victoria. Danke, ne? Danke. Whoa. Whoa. Okay, let me just get more brilliant comments. Okay, so this video over here, this is a response to a different video. This was about people who keep saying Black South Africans built nothing, blah, 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 blah. You know, that kind of rhetoric. And so uh, I was speaking to patronizing Patrick and the pick me wife, right? But um, Patrick Shwenyane, 5819 says, Black South Africans, inclusive of coloreds and Indians. So he's using the umbrella term for Black people here. Built Gautrain, Shaka Marine, Rosebank, and some parts of Sandton, Waterfall, Johannesburg Stadium, Moses Mabhida Stadium, Luthuli Airport in Durban. These are just two cities, and there are many more in other cities. There are some projects in the pipeline. Black South Africans also built Sol Plaatje University. Mentioning Sol Plaatje, he was our first author to write in English, a first Black author to write in English, right? And many malls around the country. We are building ports and another two airports, one in Cape Town, one in Johannesburg. We tarred all Soweto's roads and many other roads in many townships. We built more suburbs to accommodate the emerging Black middle class. We electrified the entire country, including farms and rural areas. The list is long. I agree. And what's funny to me is a lot of people want to come and enjoy the Black middle class while pretending it doesn't exist when they criticize Black South Africans. Someone added, Bridget Kamangu added, Dora in Giza Hospital in Kubeja. And she goes, I wow, some people can embarrass themselves. And then Ntutu ZA said, we even imposed a stadium in a very reluctant DA and built them the Cape Town soccer stadium that they now use as an iconic landmark in their promotional material. Yeah. Ish, good point there, Tutu. And Tutu also adds, imagine people from countries that achieved freedom 30 years before we even thought we would see freedom are busy competing and criticizing people from a country that is the baby of the continent in liberation terms. And Tutu, I couldn't have said it better myself. Bridget Kamangu, let's start with the anthem that some countries adopted even. Right? Wow, can he be that simple? And someone said, surprisingly, he's currently based in SA. If I do go do a video on Patrick and the Pick Me Wife, um, if I can stomach it again, then yeah, I'm gonna bring up that point because I have a lot to say on that. Um, Africa, we won 5390 says South Africans built stadiums, new airports, upgraded the existing one, built new universities, hospitals, Gauteng, building new blue trains. So many black owned companies, Kijima, Adapt IT, Exaro, Billion Group, Makasa, Batu Shoes, etc. Thank you for that insight. I didn't even know this. Um, Africa Azania Luti. South Africa's stance of migration is not inherently opposed to immigration, but rather directed against poverty. The influx of low skilled migrants creates competition with economically disadvantaged citizens, reliant on government support for healthcare, education, and housing. This stands in contrast to a minority of highly skilled African migrants who access private services and reside in affluent, isolated neighborhoods. Favoring migrants capable of self financing reduces dependence on public resources. Exactly. We said contributors. While acknowledging the unfairly prolonged asylum process, we must engage in meaningful discussions addressing the root causes of conflicts, displacement, and the underdevelopment of our continent. I agree, but there's only so much South Africa can do, and she's got to take care of her own kids first. In the context of prejudice, I find it hypocritical that some African nationals decry xenophobia while simultaneously endorsing violence against groups like the LGBTI community. Yes, the ultimate aspiration is a liberated Africa where all its citizens enjoy freedom, dignity, and respect. And then he quotes from the Constitution here: "We, the people of South Africa, recognize the injustices of our past, honor those who suffered for justice and freedom in our land, respect those who have worked to build and develop our country, and believe that South Africa belongs to all who live in it, united in our diversity." Okay. And then there was someone else who said here something about King Shaka International Airport. All right. Awesome. So, one thing I want to say, and I have made a video about this before, I just couldn't upload it, is a big up to Ngobile. Ngobile, the Conqueror, was my 1,000th subscriber. And I appreciate you so much, Ngobile. Where are you? Where are you? Because that meant so much to me. And I think you were on this page. Ngobile Ndlovu. It's so interesting how our names in different languages basically mean the same thing, right? So Ngobile means I conquered, and Ndlovu being, oh goodness, Ndlovu there being the
Nuance with
elephant.
Nikki, the nitty.
That just Ngobile. I'm sorry that I keep pushing onto the wrong things, but I just wanted to say, girl, I appreciate you as I appreciate 1,000 other people who are here. Okay? So thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And I can't remember which video it's on. Someone said they don't necessarily agree with everything that I say, but they trust my sincerity. I appreciate you too. You know what? I'm not going to agree with everything I say because I'm going to keep asking questions. And in a year or two, I'm going to have a different perspective. But I thank you guys for at least listening. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you so much, guys. Take care and Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Nat. Okay, nuance with Nikki. A lot of nitty gritty.